Janice, are you there?
At your service, sir.
What you got for me?
Uploading visuals, sir.
I have never been in a healthy, good relationship. I don't even know what that's like. I feel sad, but I honestly would really rather not depend on a man for like anything.
This is how women tell on themselves. Just let them talk long enough. Breakdown. Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. This is not a diss video. I repeat, this is not a diss video. Matter of fact, we want to thank the content creator for sharing her thoughts so we can all learn from it. Now, this video is going to be longer than usual because in order for her to tell on herself, we need to let her speak. So we will let her speak for 3-minute parts. So brace yourself because it was not easy for us to listen to her because this is a rant. She ranting for the goddamn. Janice.
Rant. To speak, write or shout in a loud, uncontrolled, or angry way, often saying confused or silly things.
Keywords: uncontrolled, angry, confused. Just let them talk long enough and they will always tell on themselves. Brace yourself. Now it's time for us to get into this and do what we gotta do because we men ain't we? Shit.
But oh my god, this guy, you know, the guy that I was talking to, he basically texted me and like broke things off for good. He's like, yeah, so I don't see a future with us, so like it's over, we're not gonna talk anymore. And I was like, yes, I feel a little sad, but like honestly, I feel relief. It's kind of crazy. It's actually the weirdest feeling. Okay, I will admit I'm not super sober right now, but this is something that I've been feeling ever since my breakup 2.5 years ago. If I am crazy, please let me know because I genuinely would like to know. I've been talking about this with all my friends. Here we go. Even though my last relationship was awful, it was terrible. If I really think about it logically, it's just so bad in so many ways. It was abusive. There's no way I want to go back to that. There's no way I want to ever date him again. Yet at the same time, I still feel so convinced that that was the most in love I ever felt in my entire life, and I don't think that I will ever feel that in love ever again. Like, no matter who it is, like the person that I marry, I'm sure that it will be like, you know, it will be someone that I'm genuinely compatible with and it'll be good, but I will never feel that strongly about another romantic interest ever again in my life. And I think part of that is reason of like, things were new. It was like my first time experiencing a lot of things. Like I was young, I was naive, I didn't really have like a propensity to watch out for certain red flags. So like I just allowed myself to fall into it head first and like not really be cautious for any reason. So now I don't think that's really possible for me, and that's why it kind of holds me back from being able to have as deep a connection with anyone else. So like even though I would never want that relationship back again, like I still think that like that was the deepest love that I ever felt. And I don't think I could ever feel it again with anyone else. Like even with this person, like this guy, I really liked him. Like I saw a future with him. Like I could imagine us like actually like getting married like to that level. And I felt like we were really compatible. And even so, it didn't even come close to how strongly I felt about my ex.
Women tell on themselves in different ways, and one of them is by only telling you what they want you to know. So she tells us that the guy broke up with her via text and she said he doesn't see a future with her. Now that's key. She doesn't tell us why he does not see a future with her. And the reason why she's not going to tell us is because it's going to make her look bad. Especially if she claims the relationship was bad, awful, abusive, and she never wants to go back to that again. Now, let's go back to a previous video and give you an example of what a man that doesn't see a future with a woman looks like.
I kind of want to know, what are you looking to get out of your potential partner?
Finances are like so important to solidify. I have a certain lifestyle that I want to live. Marriage for me is a financial decision and an emotional decision. If Hunter wasn't making enough money that was reasonable, I would walk away. I think it's the first time I've said that out loud. I don't think Hunter's ever heard me say that. People are like, oh, you don't necessarily have to have that much money. I'm like, no, you do. I don't ever want to have a situation where I have to pick, oh, I'm paying for this or this.
I don't think I'm the man that can fulfill all of her needs she's looking for.
And I grew up comfortable, but
sure,
you know, I want more than comfortable. I want like good.
So whatever man's out there, good luck. Yeah, we had a good discussion. You know, I don't think I would see a future with you in marriage.
Modern women have unrealistic expectations and they suffer from Disney princess syndrome. Personally, I've broken up with some pretty women. They were physically attractive, but they were exhausting to be with. Just listening to this woman is exhausting because she's all over the place. And as a man, you have the tendency to look for solutions and to make sense out of things. And that's not what this rant is about. If the relationship was so bad, why did she stick around? And why did he break up with her? It's an emotional thing. She says that she was really in love with this guy. She feels sad and relieved at the same time. Women love to be in these contradictory situations. And she will tell on herself some more. Brace yourself for another 3 minutes.
If you actually think about it from a psychological level, like the people tend to choose partners that like traumatize them in ways that feel familiar to them, basically, in a nutshell. So I know it sounds really bad, but that's really how it works. So it turns out you tend to actually choose people not necessarily who are the best fit for you, but hurt you in ways that are reminiscent of your childhood traumas or your past traumas or whatever. So that's why when you meet someone who generally is like securely attached, is stable, is like actually a genuinely good partner for you, it may feel very boring or just like not exciting at all, and you may feel like there's no spark. So that's why low-key, I am actually really relieved that this happened, because like I really liked him and I felt that we were super compatible, and yet still there were things that I was not completely satisfied with. So it honestly gives me hope that there are even more people out there that I would potentially be compatible with that may be even better for me. Because I don't know, there also is some power that girls have, you know what I'm talking about, where like we are able to convince ourselves to like things about our partners. We're like, there may be certain things like, yeah, maybe they're not the most attractive, they're not the best in bed, they're not the coolest, he's not the most mature, he doesn't really have the most money. But I mean, there are things, these are kind of things that we're able to kind of look past or kind of convince ourselves to like eventually if we, you know, can fall in love with their personality or, you know, just like more redeemable qualities about them. I really don't know what this says about me, but I feel like I find very, very few people attractive. And it's not because I think that I'm better than everyone else. I'm like, oh my god, you're all out of my league. Like, I don't know, like I genuinely just like physically just find very few people attractive. Dude, I don't even know. But basically, if a guy really has a good personality and I start to, you know, like his character, then yes, if he did not previously already just disgust me from the get-go and I just kind of felt neutral about his looks, then I can convince myself to really like them. I feel like that kind of happened with my exes. Like, I thought they were pretty attractive to begin with, but when I started to fall more in love with them, then suddenly they're like the most perfect human beings in my eyes. You cannot do any wrong. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what happens when you fall in love. And I feel like it's easier for girls to do that. But for guys, like guys, if they either think you're hot or you're not. Like, you're either attracted to them or you're not. And like, it's basically as simple as that. They're just very like primal and simple beings. But at least for girls, I feel like girls don't want to feel like you could do better than your current partner. You want to feel like your partner is like the best that you could do. Girls are better able to like kind of weigh the pros and cons just as a whole. Just, like, if you were to give them like a grade in every single possible aspect, overall, are they worth it? But like, would you want the person that you ended up marrying? Like, would you ever want to think that in your heart you had to convince yourself that they were attractive? But the second I did, he was like the hottest person in the world. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's like the most attractive person I've ever seen in my life. But before that, I was like, this guy is like really not my type, low-key.
Look, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's Chad. The selection process of these females is predictable. Like most women, she is not attracted to most guys. You have to understand that the mentality of the guy that is attracted to most women will most likely come with a different mindset than your average Joe. Chad and Tyrone have a powerful word in their vocabulary, and that word is no. You can't have whatever you want. No, you can't do whatever you want. No, I do not agree with you. And this is where this feeling of abuse might come from, because most women are used to guys giving them whatever they want. We've seen it many times in this space. Stop bashing women. Why you keep hating on women? Tell these women that they can't do something and you're controlling. Tell them what they don't want to hear and they feel attacked. Even though a lot of the arguments we make in this space are backed up with data and statistics. And that's not what this is about. It's not about the truth. Just this 3-minute part alone was a complete roller coaster of emotions. That's the moral of the husband store story. Women always want more, especially if they have a feeling there is more out there. Larsa Pippen. She thought it was gonna be easy to get another famous guy to wife her up. She found out the hard way that it's not that easy. Now she admits that she has to lower her standards. And this is where the sisterhood comes in. Because like she said, women have the power to convince themselves to like someone. This is exactly what happens when a woman goes on a date or a guy asks her out on a date. She's gonna consult with the sisterhood, and if the sisterhood votes yay, then she's gonna like the guy because the sisterhood approves of him. This is exactly why being with a woman can be exhausting, because you're not just with her. No, you are with her and the sisterhood. And depending on the values of the sisterhood, that's gonna determine what she wants from you. So if women have the power to convince themselves that they like someone, that means they also have the power to do the opposite.
Oh my God, it actually feels like a whole breath of relief just like off my chest. Like, I feel like it definitely was upsetting, but I'm learning to like feel my feelings, you know? Think about where it sits in my body. I feel it in the pit of my chest, like right here specifically. It's kind of like an aching pain. If I just know that it's temporary, like the more time that passes, the less it's gonna hurt. And I really just kind of want to sit in this pain and enjoy it, because I don't know, it's just like rare that something can make me feel like this, you know? Because like I've just been going through life and everything's just been pretty like plain and mundane, which is actually kind of fine because my emotions have just been like regular. But at the same time, I feel like there's something beautiful about things in life that can actually like really make you feel things, and I think that is a special thing. So I'm gonna enjoy it while it's here, before like I go back to not caring about anything again, because after this I really don't want to have any kind of romantic involvement with anyone at all, because I feel like it actually took a lot for me to open myself up to this whole thing, and like the moment it did, I guess it went wrong just as I predicted. So I don't know, I guess I'm glad that I ended up taking measures to protect myself in the long run. I actually am very proud of myself for that. I mean, I guess it was a good lesson, but I'm just like really tired and I don't want any other person to be like disturbing my life like that again. I was so happy living my life. Like I am very grounded in like every other area of my life, like my job and my family and my friends and my social life. So I just don't want to let any other human being come in and disrupt that again, especially a fucking man. Like disgusting.
Emotional roller coaster, guys. Watch our video breakdown of 50 Shades of Grey. Everything is based on the emotional roller coaster. Women want to live the soap opera life because soap operas are always about women going through some shit. Positive, negative, it doesn't matter because something always happens. That's why women can be exhausting, because like she said in the second part, a good partner can be perceived as boring, not exciting, and women are the best orchestrators of drama. And that doesn't work because men want peace of mind. You want drama? Get yourself a girlfriend. She will provide an infinite supply of it. As you can see, at the moment she shot this video, she doesn't want anything to do with men, because that's how she feels at the moment this video was shot. And that's exactly what happened when she was dealing with this guy, because she knew it was not gonna work. But at that moment, she still decided to F with this dude. Tinder swindler, YOLO. Check out our video breakdown of the Tinder swindler. Another foolish woman playing victim. They are not victims. Victims of their own demise.
Before all of this happened, I had
Don't feel sorry for them.
That, like,
this next part is almost 3 minutes long and says a lot about modern women.
Some people just never meet their person. A lot of people end up settling, but I refuse to settle. So if I never meet that person that like will stick by me for the rest of my life, then I just won't. Like what I kind of like rationalized with myself, this is about like a year or two ago, I realized that like I've already fallen in love twice in my life, and that's a lot more than many people ever get to experience. So I'm lucky enough to have been in love, which is one of the greatest human experiences. That's just unexplainable but just so magical, and something that's just so unique to our existence. And I understand that many relationships, they're not meant to last a lifetime, you know? They're only going to be here for as long as they're meant to be here, and that's perfectly okay. Like each of them has a different meaning or purpose for our lives, and it's moving us in the right direction to where we need to be. So therefore, that's how I kind of rationalize with myself that it's okay if I never end up finding anyone. And I know like it sounds stupid that I'm like coming to this whole like grandiose conclusion that I'll never be in love again at the age of 23, because that's so young. That's literally, because that's so young. There's literally so many years ahead of me. I don't know. At the same time, I think we're kind of entering an era, like a new generation, where romantic relationships are not like the foreground of our priorities of what we think is the most important in life and the things that like me to strive for. There's so many other areas of life that can bring you joy and bring you purpose and fulfillment. And I feel like the only reason that I'm actually concerned about it is just because having a family, like having kids, is really, really important to me. But otherwise, like I really don't think I need someone else. And yeah, maybe hyper independence is just a trauma response to that. But I really don't think it's so bad to be single in my 20s and do whatever I want. I don't want to give that up yet. Like before I even met him, I wasn't ready to give that up. I feel like there's just so much freedom and like fun that comes with being single. Enjoying the attention plus the potential of like just going out and meeting people is kind of exciting. And even though like at some moments, yeah, there will be a few moments when I feel kind of lonely because like all of my friends are in relationships. So a lot of times at the end of the night when we're all like done partying or raving or whatever, and like everyone is like with their significant other and they're able to like cuddle at the end of the night, like I do feel a little jealous and like a little bit lonely. But at the same time, knowing what else it takes, like how much work relationships take, the sacrifices you constantly have to make every single day, just always accounting for that other person, I don't know if I would want to do that. I don't know if I could do that. I just don't have it in me anymore. And I feel like I'm proud of myself for like even giving this a chance, because I think it would have been easier for me to just kind of run away and just avoid it altogether, just knowing that there's a potential of me getting hurt.
Women are terrified, and Dr. Cronin explains where this fear is coming from.
Why is dating so vexing for this generation? What is it? Why do millennials have such a problem with dating?
That's a great question. I think it's vexing on the one hand for all of us because it involves awkwardness and rejection, the possibility of being rejected, and for millennials, I'm usually talking to students at top tier universities and colleges, and these young people work so hard, right? Yeah. In all areas of their lives, they've been coached and they're on teams and they've been competing. They're very high achieving. But as I say to them, this is the one area of your life where effort doesn't necessarily correlate with success. You know, you can be your best self, you can be your most gorgeous self and have your hair just done and be interesting, and yet somebody might still say, well, not so much with you. You know, and so this is an area where they struggle because in other parts of their lives, success means they're going to succeed.
Right. Effort breeds success.
Exactly.
Here,
exactly. Right. Here, there's a chemistry thing.
You see why women prefer hookup culture? Because their emotions are all over the place. They are paradoxical. This woman talks about dying alone, and then she talks about feeling lonely and jealous sometimes. Do you understand why women are depressed these days? They can't have it all. What they want is inconsistent because their emotions take over. Women don't handle pressure very well. Rejection. They cannot settle down. They refuse to settle, but at the end of the day, they are forced to settle down. Larsa Pippen. Now, of course, she goes out with a bang.
But I'm still proud of myself for like letting myself try it out anyways, because I don't want to become so jaded with life. I feel like I've been hurt so many times by guys, and like a lot of times growing up, like I received absolutely zero male attention growing up just because I was like ugly and friendless and just a loser in general. So I feel like male attention was something that I really craved, and that whole pipeline eventually led to me making a lot of bad choices, or just like not being able to weed out the wrong guys. One guy traumatizes me, just leads to the next one traumatizing me in the same way, just because that's what I find familiar, and that's what I keep finding myself like in the same kind of patterns with the same kind of people. Some of the same exact nasty words come out of their mouths verbatim, word for word for each other. It's like they're the same person. So I'm trying really hard to not ever fall into that pattern again, and it's really hard to tell if I'm making progress or not, because like in my head, like every time I meet a new person and I think that this could be it, like I think this could be different, and I spend forever overthinking about it. I think that like, oh, maybe this is different, like maybe I'm getting better, I'm growing and I'm maturing, so I can make a better choice, I can make a more logical choice this time. And in the end, it seems that I've made the wrong choice yet again. So it's just like, it's hard to tell if I'm making progress or if I'm getting any better at this or not. Like literally romantic relationships have not done a single beneficial thing to my life ever. I have never been in a healthy good relationship. I don't even know what that's like. I feel sad, but I honestly would really rather not depend on a man for like anything.
You see how she admits that she made bad choices? However, it's still men that traumatized her. How in the blue hell does that happen? I mean, you made the bad choice. This is why women make terrible leaders. They want to be CEOs because they like the sound of it, but they don't understand what the profession entails. The pressure to perform, the competition of other employees who want to take over your position. This is not Sex and the City. Movies make it look easy for women because they know women don't want to see other women struggle. As a leader, you can't make decisions based on your emotions and blame others when you didn't get the results you wanted. She tells on herself. Both guys were saying the exact same nasty words to her. Why is that not an indication that it might be you that's the problem? Men don't just wake up one day and start calling you names. I don't have female friends because I will ask them these tough questions and hold them accountable for that foolishness. Most of the pain these women endure is self-inflicted, but they get a pass because it's believe all women, and men have the tendency to think with that D when they talk to these women. When you finally had her, you realize how exhausting it is to be with a woman like her. She tells on herself she doesn't even know what a healthy relationship is. This goes for a lot of people. It's just that what is expected from men didn't really change. Women still expect us to provide. Women still expect us to protect the benefits of traditional roles. But they don't want to be traditional women. So what they want is liquid. It depends on how she feels at that moment. And that's a recipe for disaster. That's why I can't recommend seriously dating modern women. It's a high risk, low reward investment. You don't build equity with women. You can do everything right for years and just sneeze the wrong way, and that's all she wrote. She won't take responsibility, but let her talk long enough and she will always tell on herself.
I really enjoyed this rant. I talked to some people and I realized that like the videos that tend to resonate the most with you guys and the videos that make me feel really good about, I don't know, myself, I guess, are the ones where like I feel like I'm just like sharing my experiences with you and talking about my life with you as if we're on FaceTime, like just two besties talking on the phone.
Manosphere, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.